All right. Let's see here. Trying to fix this stuff here, y'all. So give me a second. Trying to see if we could stream it. We could stream it this way this time. Yeah. So what ended up happening, man? Um, my IP gateway went down, so they got to send a technician to come out tomorrow to either give me another modem or fix whatever was going on outside. So I said, let me go ahead and see if I can just stream um, this way. I'm trying to get some sort of background on here. So you say, give me a minute. I didn't think it was gonna be like this while y'all come on in. Shoot, there we go. Just put it back. Yeah, this background is fine. All right, hit done. All right. Yeah. Let's. So what I wanted to originally talk about tonight was about the Cracker Barrel situation. So them folks was sitting up here complaining about the Cracker Barrel that they changed the logo. So I'll pull up my. Let me get it. Let me see here. Where are we at? Where's the Google app? I was trying to find the Google app on here. Give me a second. So we know that it was changed to a new logo, and then now they cried so much about changing it back. Let's see if I can possibly pull this up here. No thanks. Oh man. Hold on. Cracker Barrel. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm having to do this way because I had all my stuff set up, y'all. All of it. All right here. All right, letting y'all say, okay, y'all coming on in. Yeah. So anyway, not to take up too much of your time because we kind of ran. So if y'all can see right here, well, man, you can't see with this freaking glass. Man, hold on. Nope, you can't see it. I'm gonna have to turn this thing off for y'all to see it. Give me a second. How you turn this thing off? Okay. So this was the original. You see what the original logo was with the Cracker Barrel with the old white man on it right there, and then that's supposed to be the new logo, right? So that's what it was. Now these folks were sitting up here crying and complaining about them changing the logo. Now we've seen so many corporations change logos over the time. We've seen this, right? And do we even care? No. Some logos we think, oh, that's a new logo. That's pretty cool. Some are like, why they change the logo? But we don't stop going or start getting pissed off because they change the logo of a business, right? That's their corporation. That's their business, right? We not attached to no logos. Like, let's say like us over here. If we was to change the logo, I don't think people be like, oh man, no, the logo. It's not about a logo. It's about the content, right? It's about the content. It's not about a logo. It's about the food, right? But for them, they feel something like Cracker Barrel holds on to their culture. And I was going to say another word, but their culture. That's what they feel like. It just for them that Jim Crow, just to the past. Because you got to think about it. A declining people holds on to the past. Thriving people look toward the future. They look to today and the future. Anytime you got to keep looking back and say, oh, it was so great back then. Oh, I wish I can live back then. So you don't have nothing you're looking forward to. It's nothing great that you're looking forward to doing in 2025, 2026. You can't live in the past. You just can't do that. That is like, you can't go back to that. And in our case, we not going back to it. Now, if y'all want to do that, that's your business. You want to go live in the mountains and live like Amish or whatever, don't go do it. God bless you. But we're not doing that. That's not what we do here. Now, So they complain so much. They all cry. They say, I'm going to boycott. I'm not going to go eat. Not that the food at Cracker Barrel for them changed or anything. Not that the people said anything mean, but because they changed the logo, then it went all the way up to Trump. The whole president of the United States went up to Trump about a logo. Now, it tells me you have nothing in your culture that's worth to be concerned about or fighting for. Why do we care about a logo when you have some real concerns we're about to get to here in a minute? You're fighting for a logo. Okay, the company caved to you and gave you your logo back. Okay, fine. You think that's a win. You call the CEO woke. Okay, that's what she is. Changing a logo to more a minimalist logo. That's really what it was. They didn't do it. They didn't change the color scheme. None of that. They just kind of removed the dude off of that. More so a modern logo. Because really, it's a modern logo. If you look at the logo, it's more modern. So more of a modern logo with Cracker Barrel. No, these people say, I'm not eating there because I can't see an imaginary white man on the thing leaning on the barrel. Once again, I can understand if they change all the recipes. The food not good no more. That's a reason to stop going if you like it. I don't go to Cracker Barrel, and I'm going to tell you why. Me and my family do not go to Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel, if you're listening, I'm going to tell you why. Cracker Barrel for me is not a place for Black Americans or any kind or Black people. I ain't gonna speak on other groups. It's not a place for Black people. Cracker Barrel has been very racist to our people. Cracker Barrel has this spirit in it that is just like this old Jim Crow style. You know, it's just that old Southern Jim Crow stuff that we don't want to be nowhere around. And then there's been stories about Black people walking in Cracker Barrel and they just not even attending you, or they are attending you. They attend you last, or they're separating you, or doing all kind of things like that. Now, I'm a firm believer of this. Don't spend your money where you're not wanted. And let's call it what it is. Everybody be cracking jokes on the folks, but why you want them to be cooking your food? Especially if they don't like you. Listen, if you don't like me, the last thing I want you to do is cook my food. I used to work at the Holiday Inn, okay? A long time ago when I was a teenager. And when people did not like you or whatever the case may be, man, how do we only, I'm still tripping out by this. How we only got 12 people in here? But anyway, whatever. When people don't like you or whatever the case may be, they can put stuff in your food. They can literally put things in your food. And since they can put stuff in your food, why would you want them making stuff for you? I'm still trying to figure that out. So as a Black person, if white people don't want me or my family in their restaurant, I don't go. Listen, this one restaurant we walked into, I'll never forget it. Me and my whole family walked in, and the moment we walked in, it's like, you say, oh, look at that place to eat. Okay, cool. So we go walk in, and then I was about to come. My wife said, we not. She said, we not eating here. And I say, what's going on? So by the time she said it, I stepped in and looked. It's like everybody stopped eating, and everybody was just looking at us like that. Like, and I was just peeping the room. I said, it's all white people, and they were just looking. I was like, oh yeah. I don't want to eat either. No. I don't eat in them kind of environments. Nope. I'm around too many demons for that. I want to eat in happy environments, right? So we left, and we went to another place where we felt comfortable. So Cracker Barrel has never been a place for Black people. And I would tell them that to their face. Your restaurant, and especially what you did, let me tell you something, Cracker Barrel, you messed up. You messed up because you co-signed anti-Black racism and MAGA racism that be coming out. You co-signed it. By you caving to them, you co-signed it. So now, Cracker Barrel, where people could just speculate about you, now they can say, okay, Cracker Barrel is a place that believes in anti-black racism, because they cave to people that we know that believes in anti-black racism. So Cracker Barrel, in my opinion, you looked at the stock price, you look at how it plummeted. Sometimes things plummet. It happens. Now, if it plummeted for a year, that's different. But you're so reactionary that you actually probably about to hurt yourself worse, because now you have solidified yourself as a Jim Crow relic that isn't a place that is not inclusive for everybody. And I'm going to tell you about that business strategy, corporate America. White population is declining. You're going to have to get it in your head, if you're going to want to survive in the future of America, that you're going to have to get the black dollar, the Hispanic dollar, the Asian dollar, the Arab dollar. You have to get all them other dollars too, and prioritize those dollars. And when these white folks call you DEI, at the end of the day, these people aren't the end all be all in America. They're not 90% of the population. They're constantly going down in population. And so think about it. The majority of them who's holding the wealth right now in this country is the baby boomers. A lot of them are on their way out. They screwed over the young whites. They screwed them over. The young whites can't even buy a home. They're no different than black folk. The young whites can't get a job, even with degrees. So the young whites are screwed over. The baby boomer whites got all the power, all the money. They own the majority of the real estate in this country. I mean, they have been the most greedy generation. They didn't share with nobody. So when that generation, and it's slowly going out, give about another good 5 years or so, you're really going to see a difference. You corporations going to have to move different, because all that old baby boomer money, that's about to go. It's about to go. And all y'all gonna be on some DEI at that point. Or you gonna just close? One of the two. That's really what that is. Now, y'all get so mobilized. Let me get my iPad back real quick. Man, I hate I had to do it like this, y'all. I had it all set up, ready to go. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on, let me go back here. Go back here. Just give me a second. All right, so they are so turned up, and they are so fighting and thinking it's a win, because they got a corporation to change a dumb logo. They went to a more modern logo, but now they thought, oh, we won something. Well, let me show y'all something. Why aren't they fighting this hard for this? You see this article right here? They just had a school shooting today. Do you ever see the MAGA people or any of them folks fighting this hard about these school shootings? Now let me read this to you. So they had a school shooting. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old in Minneapolis was killed. 17 others hurt at a Catholic school. Now they say the shooter, died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Trump is not getting involved with saying what in the hell going on in this country. Why are we having so many school shootings? I'm going to send the National Guard. I'm going to send the FBI. I'm going to send everybody to stop these school shootings. He's not saying that, but he wants to go to D.C. and harass brothers hanging out. But he's not stopping this. White America is more concerned about a logo at a restaurant than protecting their children. And the majority of those victims in those shootings are their children. It's not our children, it's theirs. But let's get into this. So it's an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old sitting in the pews were unalive when the shooter opened fire through the windows of a church at the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis on Wednesday morning, police said. Y'all listen to this. 17 others were injured in the shooting during a mass that marked the first week of school. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said 14 of the injured victims were children ages 6 to 15. White America, why aren't you screaming and yelling and getting Trump to talk about these incidents that's constantly happening in your community? You want to talk about quote unquote black crime, black people or Pookie's, Ray Rays aren't doing this. You literally have an epidemic in your community, and yet you will rage about Cracker Barrel and not rage about this. These kids were in a church, at a school. Now, they say, and 3 adults were shot, were parishioners in their 80s, some 80-year-old people. All of those injured expected to survive. They say the shooter died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They said FBI identified the shooter as 23-year-old Robin Westman, who was born Robert Westman. They say his driver's license information, and ABC News described Westman as a female born in June 17, 2002. A name change application for a minor born on the same date, June 17, 2002, was approved by the district court. They say hold on, Robin Westman, but you was born what? Hold on, they say described as a female, but born and changed the name. Okay, change name from Robert. Okay. So this is the individual right here from the article, right there. They were born Robert Westman, and now he identifies this. Robin identifies as a female now. So that's the shooter right there. Just so y'all know. They say the mass shooting unfolded just before 8:30 a.m. They say when the shooter approached the side of the building and fired a rifle through the church windows toward children and other worshipers sitting in the pews, according to what the police is saying. Dozens of rounds were fired. As the police chief said, and he called it a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. But they're more worried about our Cracker Barrel logo. Okay. Within seconds of the gunfire, the heroic staff moved students under the pews. It said Annunciation Parish and school said in a statement the students and staff were evacuated in a matter of minutes. When it was safe to do so, the suspect was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. And people believe the shots were fired from all 3 weapons. The chief said all 3 weapons were purchased legally and recently. They say a possible smoke bomb was also discovered at the crime scene, according to the police chief. And they say Weston, a 10-year-old 5th grader, at the school, said he was sitting next to the stained glass window when the shooter fired through. He said it was right beside me. It was like 2 feet away from the stained glass window, so the shots were right next to me. So the boy said he and his classmates immediately hid under the pew as the gunfire continued. He said, my friend got hit in the back. He went to the hospital. He said, I was super scared for him, but I think he's okay. Now, once again, constantly, see if I can't blow this picture up. No, I can't. We constantly see these type of scenes right here. White America, MAGA in particular. Yet you never outrage about that, but you're outraging about a logo from a corporation that serves food. Just trying to figure that one out. Now, let me get to another thing I wanted to highlight. I will highlight tonight. Give me a second. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now this is another one coming from. Of course, we give the source coming from ABC News. Make sure y'all can see that. That way, we're showing y'all where we're getting it from. All right. So, how many lives have been lost in school shootings this year? And Trump, MAGA, all y'all has been screaming and yelling about a freaking logo. Now, of course, they're touching back on the shooting that happened here. I think it was today. They said the shooting is at least the fifth shooting this year in 2025 at a K through 12 schools in the United States since the school year began on August the 1st, according to the anti-gun violence advocacy organization Everytown for Gun Safety. No other country has this kind of savagery. So-called third world countries don't have this kind of savagery. You always want to sit up here and talk about black on black crime and all black people so criminal or whatever. You constantly you trying to look for any little nickel and dime crime black people commit, but you never want to look at mass shootings. This is literally, now the FBI just said, domestic terrorism. You never want to pay attention to the domestic terrorists in your community, but you so turned up about a logo. Where's your priorities? Where's your priorities? Now, say gun control advocates are once again calling for firearm restrictions to protect children in schools in the wake of shooting. Now, let's talk about that, because I've said this before, and some people didn't like what I said. If you look at a country like the UK, how many school shootings do you think the UK had? Now, the reason why I mentioned the UK is everybody can't run around here with all these weapons like that in the UK. Now, you may get stabbed over there, but you can't have no guns like that. How many school shootings do you think it is in the UK? Or a lot of African nations where everybody can't walk around with guns. How many school shootings do you think it is? How many? Let me see if I can even pull that up. Hold on, do I got this down? Do I have it downloading on my tablet? Let me see here. Maybe I don't have it downloaded on my tablet. Let me get it real quick. Just give me a second. Where we at? Give me a second. Did they literally get rid of my article? Or I went to the wrong one. Maybe I did go to the wrong one. Yeah, I think they got rid of my okay, my article's there. Cool. All right. So let me go here. I'm gonna say how many, because I like to confirm information. School shootings. Give me a second. In the UK. Let's see, 2025. Okay. The country. Man, one thing I don't like about this, man, I don't even have an overview of this situation. But let's go by World Population Review. It's talking about school shootings I'm looking at right now. Countries with the most school shootings, I don't know exactly what they're taking, or this only goes up to 2018. But America ranked number 1. I know Mexico's like number 2. They mentioned South Africa at 6, Pakistan 4, Nigeria 4. But that's from 2022 on. It's not enough research for me on that one, and I don't have access to my thing here. But let's just go back to the article here, because I can look for that another time. So you're so worried about a logo, okay? So they say at least 57 shootings at K through 12 schools in 2025, not including Wednesday's shooting in Minneapolis, according to Everytown for gun safety, which at least 47 people shot in those prior incidents. At least 15 people were unalived. But you think you got to win by making Cracker Barrel change the logo back. This is what you're concerned about. Yeah. See, Kelly, I don't really have chat in Gemini set up on my tablet like that. I guess I'm gonna have to, because normally I only use my tablet just to be looking at comments. Be honest with you, but that's what they're concerned about, y'all. Listen, if you start really peeling the onion layers back about their crime and what they do, ladies and gentlemen, they couldn't even keep up with. Listen, y'all. I never forget this. This is why they don't mess with me. Okay. I remember, and some people knew, so I'm telling the story again. They used to come and always say, "Oh yeah, black on black crime, black crime." And I'll never forget. I told them, I said, if you come over here one more time, tell me something about some black crime, I'm gonna have white on white crime month. And they still kept doing it. And I had white on white crime month. And every day I was doing nothing but stories on white crime. And I was genuine about it because I don't believe no one should be a victim of crime. I don't care who you are, right? And when I saw going through white on white crime month, man, it's savage. It is savage what they do to each other. They don't have no right to talk about what black people do. You hear me? They have no right to talk about. You say they relied on Rampage's son. Yeah, well, you know they look. They sons look. That's what they look. They sons do things like this. Oh, I'm sorry. They son slash daughter. Well, they son slash daughters do things like this. What happened in Minneapolis today? Rampage's son, from what I heard, have done that. Some of our worst criminals aren't doing that. But anyway, when I did white on white crime month, I was really starting to understand why that white woman don't want to fool with the white man. Oh, I start seeing why. I mean, some of the things they do to white women, whoo, wow. I mean, but anyway, so I did white on white crime month. And after that, they left me alone. They never came and told me nothing, never again about black on black crime. Not because I got it blocked out of my chat. No, they don't say that to me no more because they remember leave him alone because he would dedicate time to us. And now, with all the things I have at my disposal now, you would want me to do white on white crime month. It'd be white on white crime streams. I have LaSherica doing white on white crime month. Oh man, it'd be bad. It'd be bad now. So yeah, just leave me alone. I always tell you, leave me alone. I tell you too, say just leave me alone, man. I'm gonna let you make it, but you keep poking the bear. I'm gonna show you what I can tell you. And that's why I tell anybody, leave me alone. I really don't want to mess with you. You feel me? So anyway, let's get back to this. So they continue to say here in this article, what should be a day of hope has turned into a day of horror for yet another elementary school. That's a John Feinblatt, president of Everytown of Gun for Safety. He said all signs point to this tragedy being perpetuated by an assault weapon, which begs the question, how many more Americans must die before lawmakers ban these weapons? Listen, I'm so tired of hearing that about it's the assault weapon, it's the assault weapon. No, it's not. It's the culture. It's the culture. This is a culture of people who have been violent from the beginning. This is documented American history. Of course, we have definitely been the victims of the violence as black people. And other groups throughout the world has been victims of that particular violence. So you have to ask yourself the question, it's not the assault weapon. Because when they were doing all of the horror to us, they didn't have AR-15s to do it. And yet they was doing horrible things to us. It's not an AR-15, it's the culture. How are the white mothers raising the white sons? Because you're always talking about black single mothers and the black boys. Well, what's going on with the and check this out. So at least we got an excuse. I always tell people that. I'm not condoning the things that we do, but at least we have some excuse. Because our families have been sabotaged. Our families have been disrupted. Nobody has ever disrupted their family. Nobody. Nobody has disrupted their family. They have generational wealth handed to them from slavery. They have more marriages in their community. And statistics prove, on a normal sense, that children out of marriages usually come out a lot better than single-parent households. Studies prove that single-parent households, you have a higher illiteracy rate, higher high school dropout rate, higher incarceration rate, higher rates of mental health issues. You know, it's a lot that goes coming out of the single-parent household. And yet, even though you have more marriages than we do, you raise your kids in a way where it's something in the culture where violence is acceptable. And the reason why it's acceptable, because when someone do things like this, well, we got to get rid of assault weapons. But when one or two black people do something, it's the whole group. You notice how they do that? It's this guy, it's that lady, it's this one, it's that one. They all individuals. It's never pathologize them. Never let's look into their psychology, let's look into their child rearing. Let's analyze every part of them so we can see how to stop this from happening to innocent people, right? That's really what it is. Brothers and sisters, that's what it is. So don't ever let them tell you nothing about crime and black people commit so many crimes. And realistically, that is an anti-black talking point about crime, because black people who do commit crime, they commit against black people. They don't be going mess with white people. They really don't. Most of the time, white people that have crime happen against them, they're looking for drugs. Most of these thugs or whatever, they're not going to the white neighborhood robbing. They're not. Because they know it's more of a consequence if you go rob a white person. They know that versus a black person. You still go to jail for robbing a black person, but you're going to get double the time you rob a white person. They know that. So they don't care about crime. That's just an anti-black talking point. If they cared about crime, they'd clean up the crime in their own communities. You hear me? You know, if Trump cared about crime, he'd go clean up all that meth that's in these trailer parks and in these liberal cities. Look at places like Seattle, Washington. They have all that homeless stuff going on, meth going on. There's a lot of white folks in Seattle. There's some black people, but there's a lot of white folks in Seattle. Got a lot going. Why don't Trump talk about cleaning up Seattle? They say Rampage's son's story is like the Cincinnati issue where they won't tell the whole story and the truth on. It says, so now the pale mills are mad. Okay, y'all mentioned Rampage. Okay, I've been hearing something about it, but I didn't know the full story. So let me go on and find out what happened. What happened with Rampage's son? I need to find out now. Rampage Jackson. Let's see what happened with his son. Okay, Rampage Jackson's son. I mean, okay, so what was this a wrestling event? What was it? Hold on, let me see something. UFC legend Rampage breaks out. Okay, after his son nearly beat a man to death, former UFC champion Quentin Rampage Jackson opened up by the visitors. Jackson's son was brutally assaulted a professional wrestler during the event last week. We left a former Army vet in critical care. He said he feel bad for Uncle Don. My son did it all. Okay, so was this? Was it a wrestling event? I'm trying to find out exactly. So was this actually a wrestling event? I'm trying to read this stuff quickly. The incident was streamed on Rogers Kick channel. Left his ringside seat during the rest of the event and the ring to confront. So they had some sort of beef or something? Picked up and slammed him on the mat and appeared to knock him unconscious. Then he rained 22 vicious punches. Ooh, my God, vicious punches. Stu's head and face before several came to stop the attack. Jackson added that he isn't shying away from the parental duties to his son. I don't know why Rampage is talking like that. That boy grown. I'm doing any father would do, being a father in home moments like this. Sometimes I wouldn't be commenting. I'd let my lawyers talk. Sometimes you're proud of your kids, and sometimes you're not proud of your kids. But at the end of the day, you're still their father. Hopefully, I can meet, Psycho Stu and shake his hand. Like, why? Why, Rampage? Why? Shake his hand for what? And I hope he can forgive me as a dad. For what? See, that's aggravating me reading that. Man, what him and look, I'll be asking my son, what you and homeboy had going on? I'm not asking forgiveness toward nothing I didn't even do. I don't care if it's my own son. What I'm asking forgiveness for. Now I say TMZ, LA police are investigating the incident after cops were called to the wrestling event Saturday night and took a police report. Rampage also claimed that he'd been subject to death threats and racist comments since the incident. Why? He didn't do it. Specifically from the MMA Guru's social media account. Said people like MMA Guru, that guy is supposed to be some kind of journalist, and his racism came out. You just figured out about the MMA crowd. There's a lot of racists in that Rampage. He said his racism showed as 2025 people do some, he said some people F up. He said it shouldn't turn into race. Rampage, you good and old, brother. Come on, brother. You talking about it shouldn't turn into race? Really? You good and old. But you did say on that stream, and I'm covering that too on the other channel, that you messing with that little young girl to feel young again. That's your problem. You shouldn't be focused on being young again. You should focus on just living your life. I can't stand with a black person like, why they gotta make it about race? You idiot. I'm gonna use that word. You idiot. Everything these people do is about race. Everything. They created race. Race is not real. Race is a social construct they created. They make everything about race because it's their creation. Let me get to where's this other part at? Where did it go? Was that the same thing I looked at? Okay, hold on. I just the article changed. Give me a second. This MMA guru person, whoever they is, I don't know why they quoting this person. I mean, they're not like this. Let me tell you about the mainstream media. They'll do anything to do a propaganda. So the propaganda is you're gonna uplift some person who's not an LAPD, who's not a prosecutor, who's not anybody that was from the event or whatever. No, you elevating what some idiot on social media says. That's what they do. It's all propaganda. Talking about, he say he called it attempted murder. He say a dumb animal. He said Rampage called me a racist for your own victim mindset. See, they platform idiots like that in the mainstream media. Now they said donations to help Smith with uncovered medical expense recovery support and loss of income. As of Wednesday afternoon, it raised $154,000 toward an updated $200,000 goal. So okay, so he gonna get cashed out. Okay, I want to know why would Rampage's son, why would he do that? I'm trying to figure that out. Like what happened? Did they have some prior beef? Man, Rampage, I wouldn't be seeking sympathy for nothing. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything. No. Like my son, if he do something, whatever the case may be, of course I'll talk to him privately. But stop sitting up here like, oh, I'm gonna apologize for my child. If my child wanna apologize, he'll do that. He'll do it himself. I ain't gotta apologize for him. He good and grown. My son is grown. Yeah, they say it bothers me a lot when them folks try to gaslight us like this. Well, because we let them. That's why they do it. We let them. That's why even last night, and I don't know why some people didn't even listen to what I had to say. I said in the beginning about that J Rello guy. I said, hey, I'm not for all that apologizing to anybody about what that one dude do. He don't represent Black America. I said that in the beginning of the stream. All that, we need to do better. We don't need to do crap. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm way over here in Houston. I would never tell nobody to go any country and do wrong like that. So stop that, black people, apologizing for stuff you have nothing to do with. No, I'm not doing that. Not on this platform. I'm not. Well, I want to apologize to y'all for him. That's that old slave mentality. Listen, white folks in slavery had that comes from slavery. If one black person do something, we all punish. So we still have that slavery mentality that if one black person do, we all get in trouble. So, let's all tell him. We all apologize. He made us all look bad. No, he did not. Nobody made me look bad. The only one can make me look bad is me. Maybe my kids in some instances, but me. I'm not apologizing for stuff I did not do. I would defend our name and say, hey, that's not what we do. That's him. That's not what we do. That's not what, whatever. So don't come up here propagandizing black people. I will say that, but I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't do and something I don't advocate for. So Rampage should not be apologizing for nothing, because Rampage didn't hit the dude. And they giving you threats, because that's the thing. A lot of them be in Rampage chat. Oh, Rampage, ha ha ha, whatever. But real quick, they turn on Rampage, just like that, because then people don't like us. Rampage, they can't stand us, brother. But anyway, y'all. Anyway. Yeah, I just want to just step in real quick. Just get my stream in for today on mobile. I ain't done it mobile in a long time. But the Rampage doesn't have no backing, so he buckled. Man, I mean, shoot, you Rampage Jackson. Shoot, you don't need no backing. That's how I look at it. Man, you can throw hands like that. What you need a backing for? Who cares about them people? You stand on business. And say, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why my son would do that. So I'm trying to talk to my son. I say, but that's far as I go with it. Anything more than that, man, the lawyer talk for me. I'm not about to be putting out statements. What? For what? There's no reason to put out a statement. You didn't do nothing. You say office tour? Nah, you don't want to see my area. My area is my area, right? So one day I'll get the big studio, then my true supporters, I'll show them, right? Because I do have some true supporters out there. Let me. I'm gonna tell you some people who I see all the time, no matter what. Like Lisa Parker down there, man. I'll tell you, Lisa be the first one in the chat. Brothers like Great Black Shark, for instance. He be here a lot of times. And, me with Great Black Shark have talked, in the past and stuff like that. Solid brother. So, and we still talking about these events, y'all. I was just, just trying to, so thinking, like we're thinking Johannesburg, South Africa, Toronto, and Canada, and some American cities, for sure. I would like to do Nairobi, Kenya as well. For sure, because we got to do something in the countries we operate in. And I'm hearing what some of the cost is, at least in South Africa. I said, man, some good prices, some actual affordable prices to get these venues. So, I got a lot of brothers and sisters that rock with us in Johannesburg. So definitely got to get out there, and then definitely got to do our stuff here in the good old U.S. of A. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned as we try to figure this thing out. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, greatly appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, we got to get back to doing these live events, man. And I was thinking, like, why did I stop doing a whole lot of stuff? And really, it hit me when the pandemic happened. Everything got shut down, and so I just got more in the mode of just doing things in studio, right? And I kind of got out the mode of doing stuff outside unless I was doing a trip or something like that. And it just hit me and said, hey, we got to get this show on the road. It's like, hey, we got to, that's all we're going to grow unless we, get out here and do some stuff. Because there's a lot of people we're not even touching out here, right? And so that's what that is for next year. So, next year come by so fast. So, yeah, we put these events up and, hey, okay, get the event bright and all that other stuff going on. And like I said, last time we did this, it went like that. So, yeah. Now, Eric, I'm active, Eric. I get up 4:30 in the morning, Eric. So I'm active, but yeah, just platform wise, I'm gonna say platform wise. So yeah, I used to do mobile. live streams. I used to, but it's much easier for me to do it on my computer. Just to keep it 100 with y'all, because I have more access to things on my computer versus my phone. So that's why y'all got mobile tonight, is because of the internet issue. They're supposed to send a technician tomorrow, so yeah, they need to come on and fix this, because shoot, I got more work I need to finish, especially with the end of the month coming. You got you got to close out the end of the month just right. So hopefully they knock that thing out. Yeah, 4:30 a.m. is my time. I get up, y'all. 4:30 a.m. You got to get up. We got to get up 4:30 a.m. At least for me. At least for me. Oh, you remember those? the darkness stream, brother darkness. Yeah, just streaming with a black screen. Well, then you didn't have people say, like, when I was doing that, y'all, why can't I see you? I hear you, but I can't see you. And I'm like, you don't need to see me to look into the darkness. You don't have to see me. Like, y'all know what I look like. I haven't changed. But I'm not up that time of night, because that was like that was in the middle of the night type of stuff. That's why it was like darkness for it. It was the middle of the night. But yeah, I'm still in the middle of the night. Matter of fact, I get out stream with y'all, since I can't really do no more work. At least for right now. Shoot, I'm gonna hit the showers and do a few, do little things and hit the bed. I go to bed earlier. That way I can get up at 4:30 and get my day started. I like getting up at 4:30. It's a beautiful time, at least for me. So you say Elon never talks about these stories on X. Why would he? Why would he? I was asking. But anyway, y'all, and I know I ran over time than what I was supposed to be. Yeah. You say people be so caught up in seeing how people look. Yeah. Well, according to what I read by psychology standards, people try, or some people like to have a connection with people. So that's why some people may complain about artificial intelligence, that they don't have a connection to it. Me, I have more of a connection to information. I don't need to connect with a human being. I got human beings I connect with in my family and in my life. I'm not looking to connect with somebody online personally. I'm talking about me. So I can hear whether it's AI, whether it's a human being. It don't matter. As long as the information's right and accurate. That's how I feel about it. Yep, shower curtains and all that. Yep. Back in the gap. Back in the gap. And yeah, you never know. I may, when we get our premier studio. Sure, I may design a studio built like that. Just to do content in. So you never know. I'm a firm believer going back to nostalgia when I need to, right? But if I'm gonna do it right. Do it right. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and go, cause man, I hate my internet went down. It went down, y'all, right when I was setting the stream up. It went down. So, yeah. All that from the past. So, yeah, let me go out of here, y'all, and hopefully they can get my stuff up early as possible tomorrow. I got two things I need to focus on tomorrow, but anyway, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Catch y'all on the next one.